Welcome to Film Therapy, the unofficial, unlicensed movie podcast.
If the film says we can say it too. So check the film rating, and that will be our episode rating.
Thank you for listening.
Welcome to Film Therapy. We are your therapists, and today we're going to be talking about a really good therapeutic movie.
Yes.
I was very excited to watch it for the first time and really loved it. And that is Your Name, directed by... Take it away, Jake.
Okay. Shit, I don't want to get his name wrong now.
I know, I don't know.
Your Name is directed by Makoto Shinkai, who also directed Garden of Words, Weathering with You, Voices of a Distant Star, Place Promised in Our Early Days, and Children Who Chase Lost Voices. Also, I've seen every single one of his movies and all of his short films.
Oh, wow, okay.
And they're all good.
Yeah, we watched Garden of Words together a long time ago. Although I thought it was Weathering with You because, there was rain. But Jake corrected me on that this morning. Weathering with You looks really good. I want to see that. And which other ones do you like a lot?
Well, Weathering with You is, really great. Oh, also, I forgot to mention 5 centimeters per second. That one's really good.
Okay.
I think his most underrated film is The Place Promised in Our Early Days, because a lot of people don't talk about that one, because all of his movies were hard to find for a while, but now they're all on Blu-ray. So.
Okay. And
then his new movie, it comes out. Oh, it's supposed to come out this year. It doesn't have an official English title yet. But I saw the one. I'll send it to you. I saw the 1-minute trailer, and it just looks incredible.
Awesome. That's exciting. Because Weathering with You was in 2020?
Yes, and I actually saw that in theater.
Oh, okay, cool. This one, Your Name, was when? When did it come out?
2016.
And it is beautiful. You warned me. You said every frame could be a painting that you could hang on your wall, and I agree.
Well, I wouldn't joke about that.
No, I know. So, yeah, right away when it started, it was just so calming, Like the whole... I guess it kind of started with some, pop rock song as the title sequence, which was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And terribly sung when I watched the dubbed version. Did you?
Yes. Yes, I've only seen this dubbed.
Whoever was singing that first song and then a couple songs along the way, it was so bad. The singing was terrible. But it was a good upbeat, rock song, and you can just kind of head jam to it, get you going, pulled you into the high school kind of drama and not suspense, but happy-go-lucky high school drama that it first starts out as, and then it gets more serious as it goes along, and the music kind of goes along with that, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the music for the most part, except for the bad singing. But
yeah, the band is called Rad Wimps. They do the music for this, and I also think they also did the score for Weathering with You.
Oh, okay.
Which further kind of cements that because you could say that that's a duology, but I would argue Garden of Words makes it a thematic trilogy, even though all of Shinkai's movies really thematically are similar. Because certain the female lead in Garden of Words, I think she has a cameo in this movie, and then some characters kind of cross over between this and his other movies.
Oh, okay, cool. I
love not in the sense of Marvel, where it's the Hulk would be in this movie, and then the next movie he'd be a major character. But but like a couple times, like you'll see one person or another, and then be like, "Oh, okay, it's that character in the background of this scene or the background of that scene."
I love that.
And I love that too. And I'm hoping that his new movie continues that trend. But oh my gosh, the new one, it looks like to be one of the most beautifully made films ever, just in terms of animation. Like, I don't know how animation that good can exist, but it does.
Wow, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to watch more for sure.
Yeah, I would recommend watch Weathering with You, and then if you want to go back and watch his other ones, go ahead and do that.
Okay. Yeah, I ended up renting this on Amazon, but I forgot. Do you have it?
I do. I have it on Blu-ray.
Okay.
So the first thing is, the first time I saw this movie was with a friend of mine. We were at his grandma's house, and we watched it on this old wooden TV. It was like the most amazing TV you've ever seen. It was so pretty. It was a piece of furniture. It was great. We watched the DVD in English dubbed, and the movie was still one of the most beautiful movies I'd ever seen on this crappy square wooden TV. And like that was so amazing, because like being able to like then when I saw the movie in HD, like on a regular TV, I'm like this movie is like every frame is a painting. Like I already knew that, but like seeing it in this other way, you know what I mean? Just added to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing I was gonna say was I don't know when the last time I saw this was, but I remember on my birthday this year I watched Weathering with You and A Silent Voice, and that was a very very emotional double feature.
A Silent Voice.
A Silent Voice isn't directed by the same director, but it is an anime film, and it's very, very good. It's like it's amazing how deeply emotional that movie is, which you could also say about Your Name.
Yeah. Who directs the? What did you just say? The
Silent Voice. I have to look it up.
Yeah.
Naoko Yamada. If I butchered that up, I apologize. Director of Liz and the Bluebird, K on the Movie, Tamako Love Story.
Okay, cool. It was good time for me to watch another anime. I've been overdue. Yeah, I really liked it. We started off, I watched it with Noah, kind of. He was half paying attention. And right away he's like, well, at least it's gonna be a pretty movie. And I was like, oh yeah. Yeah, it was like fun and upbeat for the first act, and then it's kind of like, where's it going? Then, oh my goodness, once the realization hits that like they're talking to each other in different times, it's
yes.
Like, oh my god, what?
It's so great.
It's kind of like The Lake House. Have you seen that with Sandra Bullock?
No, but I know the poster because I've seen it in so many used DVD stores.
Yeah, I really like that movie. Yeah, it's kind of like the same concept.
Spoilers.
And then, what else was I thinking?
Freaky
yeah,
Friday.
Like Freaky Friday, yeah, when the music started up, Noah was like, oh yeah, Lindsay Lohan.
For what? For this movie, or did you watch Freaky Friday recently?
Yeah, no, for this movie.
Because Mitsuha is voiced by Stephanie Sheh, who is the voice of Sailor Moon, and she's also Yui in Sword Art Online. And
okay.
And then Michael Sinterniklaas is the voice of Taki. I just have to find what other stuff he's been in, because I don't know his name by name.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, he's also in A Silent Voice.
Okay.
Let me see what else he's in. Just scrolling through his things here. He's done voice acting for Digimon, Eden of the East, Fairy Tail, Full Metal Alchemist. Oh, he's also in Your Lie in April. So.
Okay.
So yeah, so he's also done a lot of voice acting work.
It was confusing right at the beginning.
Yeah, no Lindsay Lohan.
Because it was weird that they would trade places every other day or like every couple days.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of hard to keep track of who was who at times, but
yeah,
I just kind of went with it, and took me for the ride.
Well, if it helps, I've seen it many times, and sometimes I'm still kind of like, wait a minute. So you just kind of have to go with it, honestly.
Okay. Yeah, the comet was beautiful. I love that.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny the stuff that they get each other into as when they are switching bodies.
Yes.
Like when Mitsuha basically hits on Taki's boss at his restaurant, and they end up going out. And then when he's Taki, he's like acting all weird, and she's not into him, but she's only into him when he's Mitsuha.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little sister was funny. Mitsuha's little sister. And oh my gosh, her dad, the mayor, was a tyrant.
Yeah.
Gross.
He's he's something. It's like there's always got to be one character in the movie that like refuses to listen to everything, and then it's just like the most obnoxious thing.
Yeah. I guess we can do a quick recap.
How do you recap this movie quickly?
Let me see. Let's see what IMDb has to say.
Okay, so it's Freaky Friday, but instead of it being a mom and a daughter, it's a romance. And they're not just separated by distance, but by time. And Mitsuha, the girl, died when the comet destroyed her town, and so Utaki, the boy, has to like prevent that from happening. But there's like a whole like time travel thing, and it's like tied to like I forget exactly where it is, but he has to go like.
It's like a sacred shrine area. And she did like a ritual of chewing rice, spitting it into a little box, and it would become fermented sake, and it's like a magical sake. And he drinks the sake, and it takes him back to her time. But then they also keep waking up and not remembering who each other are, and it's so sad.
Yes.
But eventually, they find each other again. Just by feeling like they just pass each other like 8 years later or 5 years later or whatever.
Sometime later.
Sometime later. They're in Tokyo and they just pass each other. They see each other and they recognize each other, but they don't know how or why. And you're just sitting there like, oh my God, just say something. And they finally did. And, we can assume it goes from there. But when he like couldn't save the town, I mean, he did save the town, but it was kind of like tricking you into thinking that he didn't, because it still got like demolished by the comet. Yeah.
I was gonna say demolished actually.
Oh yeah. But then it cuts to the news clip, and it said there was no deaths and everyone survived. So you just kind of like let your breath out and think like, oh my gosh, he did it. And they did it, like they did it together so that they could meet later on in life. It's just so sweet.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, I don't really have much else to add, because like you're just that's it. Like it's just one of the most emotionally like cathartic endings to any movie ever. And like somehow it just ends on like the perfect note.
Yeah, totally. I would like to learn more about that ceremony that she did. Like, is that a regular thing?
Oh, I don't know.
And like kids were making fun of her. I feel like I kind of related to that, like being Catholic growing up and going to church and like going to these Catholic retreats and stuff. Like people would make fun of me about like taking it seriously and stuff.
Wow. Where are those people
so,
now?
I don't know. They're all over, but they're doing fine. They're fine. But that's just kind of the vibe I got from that. It was like maybe some kind of old school religious ceremony that was going on. But it was interesting for sure. And it also made me think of like, what if this could really happen and we just wake up and we don't remember anything and we have this like deep connection with people and somehow, some way, fate like takes us to meet them, but we don't really remember why.
See, I've like theorized about that for like years.
Yeah.
And like I haven't found any kind of conclusions, but like what you just said, I've thought about that concept for a long time.
Initially, when I saw the imagery of the comet having pieces split off from it, and specifically like one piece split off from the main one, I kept thinking like twin flame, like there are twin flames out there in the universe, and this whole like the thing with the magic hour and the comet, it's kind of ethereal and spiritual, but still grounded in the earth and could make them, come together. But all this stuff is happening around them in the universe as well.
Wow, I never thought of it like that. That definitely has a lot of merit to it.
Yeah, that was my initial thought. It was kind of silly and fun at the beginning. I like that.
And then it just becomes like so emotionally like you just get so emotionally invested in the characters and in like their connection and like even like the side characters, like Mitsu's house friends, like they're a lot of fun too.
Yeah. I guess I don't really like how they just explained everything in the beginning. Like in the first act, it was like they just had narration over it, like, and so then we did this, and 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 now we're here. Like I think there's more creative ways to show that happening instead of just telling us. But then it kind of like, because I was like, where's this going? I didn't understand like what the rest of the movie was, I guess. I guess I understand why they had to kind of condense it down.
Yeah, because a lot happens.
So, but yeah. Do you know why some people sleep on the floor and some people sleep in beds in Japanese culture? Or is that just like preference?
No, I have no idea.
No, I just watch anime.
Yeah, I just watch anime. You'll have to find a more seasoned veteran who like studies like Japanese culture, or like it could have nothing to do with Japanese culture. Like it could just be a thing,
Yeah, I would like to visit Japan someday.
Oh yeah, totally. I would love to. Like because not only like movies like this, because there's even like live action movies like Lost in Translation that make me just want to go to Japan. But then, like, when you see it in anime, it's just, like, the most beautiful thing in the world. Like, just, like, the scenery and nature and, like, you know what I mean? Just, like, even, like, how the sky looks and everything. So I'm just, like, man, I just want to, that would be great.
It seems it would be really humid there, which I wouldn't like, but it'd probably be worth it anyway. But the scene where it started snowing in Japan, or in Tokyo, I was like, oh my gosh, this is heaven.
Whenever it rains or snows in anime, it's just amazing.
Yeah. I recommended it to my brother, who's big on anime right now.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he's fine with
it. Yeah. It's just it's a good movie. I liked it a lot.
I'm sorry, I wish I had more to say. I just feel like the things I would have said are just things that you just said. So like, not the most interesting discussion perhaps, but I'm glad. Okay. I'm so glad that you really liked it because it's an incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I remember in film school people would talk about it a lot, and I just hadn't seen it. So it's that and Grave of the Fireflies is next for me, I think.
Oh, jeez.
I know.
Grave of the Fireflies is also amazing, but you will need. You actually, I'd recommend watch after you watch Grave of the Fireflies, watch My Neighbor Totoro because that's how they released them in theaters together because like that's how they were released and you know you should because then if you're gonna watch one you should probably watch the other just as a pick me up.
Okay, palate cleanser.
Yeah, yes, thank you. Palate cleanse. That's the phrase I couldn't think of.
Sounds good.
They are talking about making a live-action American remake of this movie, of Your Name.
Oh.
Even though the movie's not even 10 years old. Just don't do it. Just don't fucking do it.
Yeah. I mean, there's already stuff that's similar. You don't need to, like, make a remake, you know?
But seriously, like who gives a shit if it's animated or if it's subtitled or if you have to, or whatever. Just like you can watch it in English if you're lazy like I am, and who gives a shit that it's animated? Like animation is the quite possibly the greatest art form of all time. So like y'all just need to get off your high horse and stop stop trying to make anime into live action films.
Yeah, I think that is dumb.
It didn't work with Death Note, and it would not work with Your Name because a big part of the movie is just how visually striking it is, and that's something you can't achieve in live action. I mean, maybe you can, but like not in the same manner. The closest example I can think of is like Guardians 2, but like even then, that has like a totally different aesthetic. Even though the skies are like paintings in that movie also. But even then, like just and they had Mark Webb was signed on to direct it, and I'm like, okay, that'd be interesting because he's done Amazing Spider-Man and 500 Days of Summer, so like he gets romantic movies, but then he dropped out, and then another director named Lee Isaac Chung was going to make it, and then he dropped out, and But I'm serious. Like they even talked about I need to see if this is still true. They talked about remaking Memento.
Like I feel people need to get out there and watch more foreign films as it is, and if we're just gonna remake them in English in our English American ways, then it's just stupid.
Like who cares if a movie is subtitled? Watch it.
Yeah.
Parasite is like fucking incredible, and it's in subtitles. But like it's like subtitled, but like just get off your butt and watch it.
Yeah.
But it's ridiculous that they're also like, oh yeah, we're gonna like try to remake Memento, and I'm like that's an American film. That's just like 20 years old now. Like why in the hell would you remake it when the director's still alive and making other movies?
Yeah, yeah, I hate that. I feel like it needs to be, you can't remake anything until everyone from the original movie is dead.
Unless it's a movie like Wizard of Oz, in which case you should never, ever remake it. Which they've now announced they're going to do.
I hate Hollywood right now.
Christopher Nolan's new movie looks pretty good, just based on the cast.
Oh, really? I don't know if I've seen anything for it.
Okay, it's called Oppenheimer, and here are some of the people in the cast. It's a long list, so bear with me.
Okay.
But Cillian Murphy, Emily Blunt, Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr., Florence Pugh, Rami Malek, Josh Hartnett, 90s heartthrob Josh Hartnett, getting on the comeback train, Dane DeHaan, Matthew Modine from Stranger Things, Alden Ehrenreich, he was Han Solo in the Solo movie. Will from Sky High, Michael Angarano. Josh Peck, Josh Nichols himself. Devin Bostick, Roderick himself. Alex Wolff,
Oh my gosh.
Gary Oldman, Casey Affleck.
Oh my.
Like, doesn't that sound like the best cast for a movie since Dune? Like,
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah.
I don't care what the movie's about. Like,
I love Cillian Murphy, so I'm signed up.
but did you hear all those other actors also?
Yes.
Like, I'm just happy to
So
see
many.
Devin Bostick in a movie. That's awesome.
I know, that's great.
Speaking of good casting, the steam train of casting Dune for part 2 is still going strong. Like, all the new
Really?
castings are just amazing. Florence Pugh is in it.
That's
She's going to be the Virginia Madsen's character, the princess.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Butler is going to be Fade. That was Sting in the 80s movie. Christopher Walken is going to be the Emperor.
Who is?
Christopher Walken as the Emperor.
Oh my god.
So it's going to be amazing. Lea Seydoux is going to be in it from French Dispatch and what's the James Bond movie she's in? Spectre.
Okay.
And No Time to Die. Because I was like, damn it, which one is she in?
I don't know. I've never seen those.
They're fine. They're solid. I've seen, I think, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've seen 4 of the 6 James Bond actors. I thought about watching all the movies, but that would take way too much time. Maddie, I don't know if you know, but there's let me see how many fucking James Bond movies there are. Yeah, there's 25. There's 25.
Oh my god.
And then this is another one I want to cross off is all the Pokemon movies. Because there's a lot of those too. There's
Pokemon movies.
Yeah, Pokemon movies. There's 23 animated ones and then the live action Detective Pikachu.
Oh my god.
And I've seen the first 5. So of the anime films. And I also debated because and yeah, I also was like, okay, I don't have the energy to do so, but part of me would be curious to revisit the Infinity Saga because I'm like, I feel like my opinion on a lot of those movies would have changed by now, probably for the worse. But like I feel like in a lot of ways that's like a waste of my time and energy to rewatch all those movies.
The Infinity Saga?
Yes, that's the first 3 phases of the MCU. So from Iron Man to Spider-Man Far From
Home. Oh god. Yeah, no, don't do that.
You were trying to do that. Except you guys were going in chronological order, which is also like...
Yeah.
Like, how does that work?
Yeah.
Because there's like flashback scenes and shit?
Yeah.
Like I know there's an order on Disney Plus, and like more power to you for going through it that way. But then in my head, I'm just like, wait, this movie starts in like this, like in the 80s, and it jumps ahead, or like this movie is set in the 40s, and then the 90s, and then
That's
this.
true. Yeah, it kind of gets confusing.
Speaking of chronological order, I also had this idea too, because the show Friends has a lot of flashback scenes. So I thought about making a timeline of all the flashback scenes up to the first episode.
Oh my god, dude. That'd be crazy.
It would take a long time.
I'm sure people would appreciate that so much, though.
I would honestly just do that for myself, though. Like, first and foremost. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I can tell you, I just get like a giant binder of like the Friends timeline or something. Or hell, I could even publish like an unofficial guide, you know? Like how people like do like the unofficial guide to Harry Potter. I could do the unofficial guide, the unofficial timeline of Friends.
Oh my gosh. That'd be insane.
Well, anyway, did you watch anything this week?
You know, so last night we tried to watch Public Enemies and with Johnny Depp.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I was going to be like super into it because I love Depression era gangster movies and history. But I just could not get into it because the cinematography was really weird and I didn't like it. It was the shakiest camera, and then they were just like focusing on things that didn't matter. Like it was artistic, but it wasn't artistic. It was just bad. And also the sound was bad too. It would like just cut off, and like the background noise would.
Was that like a streaming thing or something with your TV, or was that the movie?
It might have been. It might have been like the mastering of it, like for Netflix.
Oh yeah, it's Netflix. Yeah, sorry Netflix.
Yeah, so sorry Netflix, but it was not good. And we had started watching a documentary about cats, like the new one on Netflix. It's called like "What Goes On in Cats' Minds" or something.
Well, I thought you were talking about the documentary about Cats the musical for a second.
Oh no!
and because I was gonna say, I thought there were connections with the actors. Never mind. Sorry.
No.
I was gonna connect it.
Oh my god.
Anyway, you watched a documentary about
we
cats.
we just watched like this. It's kind of like a basic children's documentary, but it was still entertaining. Then that's it. What about you?
Well, I watched this documentary on Roger Ebert called Life Itself, which is the name of his memoir.
Oh.
It talked a little bit about Siskel and Ebert, and it also talked about Roger's life, like in his later years, because he really wasn't doing well. Like he had surgeries, and he like couldn't speak or eat or drink or anything, so he had to like type his words and everything. Whenever he wanted to say something, he'd have to type it.
Wow.
And it's really sad and really depressing, but it's also really uplifting. And because in the last month, I've really gotten into watching old Siskel and Ebert reviews, and I don't remember if I've said this in a recording or not, but just the way that they understood cinema and the way they critique movies is just so like the world needs that right now, because the internet is just filled with people who don't know what they're talking about. You know, like people like when you go on YouTube, like think of how much of it is quote unquote film criticism, but how much of that is actual film critiques and praises and just the whole blanket term of film criticism. And then like when you go and watch a Siskel and Ebert review, it's like, yeah, sometimes they can be petty and sometimes they bicker with each other, and that's like half the fun of it. But then also like they just like love movies so much, and that's like so inspiring, and like it's given me like a new like outlook on movies, honestly. So then watching the documentary of Roger Ebert, like thinking of his life, and they talk a little bit because Gene Siskel died first. He died like actually a month after. I don't know. Yeah. He died close to when I was born. So so he's been dead for a while, and then Roger Ebert died like 9 years ago. So then like part of it is talking about how when Gene Siskel died, like how Roger Ebert felt about that, and like how, you know, and then I don't really have much else to say. I kind of already wrote all my thoughts down in a review. That's what I do. So I will.
So follow Jake on Letterboxd.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat, and we can put it in the description or something. But yeah, feel free to read it, Maddie. Or anybody.
Where'd you watch it?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
So it was free.
That sounds really interesting.
It is. And yeah, my favorite. I think I say this in my review, but my favorite Siskel and Ebert moments so far that I've seen are when they're talking about the fourth Jaws movie, and then Michael Caine gets out of the water, and in the middle of the screening, Roger Ebert, Michael Caine comes out of the water, and Roger Ebert was like, his shirt is dry, because his shirt is actually dry. Like he said that out loud in the theater. And then, like the way he says it, he's like, I always hate when people talk during the movies, but people laugh at that. There's a movie called cop and a half. So it's like Burt Reynolds like plays like this like cop, and then his partner is a kid. Like his cop partner is a kid, and that's the story.
Nice.
And then so Siskel did not like it, but Ebert did, and Ebert was like the only person at the time to like it. So during their review, I'll send it to you because it's really funny. And then
it sounds like you.
Sounds like me.
Yeah, like sometimes when like either you and me are talking or something, you know, we sometimes have differing opinions on like what we like, you know, and you'll like something crazy and I'll like something crazy and we won't agree, but like that's fun that he's like disagreeing with Siskel?
Yeah, Siskel. Gene
Siskel. He's like, nah, man, this movie's great.
Yeah, exactly. It's so funny, and they're both like being like professional about it, and it's so funny. And then at the end of the year, when they did their worst of the year list, Gene was like, "I'm gonna pick Cop and a Half," and then so they were bickering about it more. And then 3 years later, they're talking about Broken Arrow, and then they bring it up again. So maybe we need to link those 3 videos because that was just so enjoyable for me.
Sure, yeah.
I'll find, and if you want, I think they're all like 2 minutes. So if you decide to watch them, let me know what you think.
Okay, sweet. Is it included in the documentary too?
No, but it's on YouTube. So
okay, cool.
Unfortunately, someone has not put it all into one video, which I could probably just do.
Definitely. What else did you watch? Is that it?
And I know that was the only thing I watched, I think. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much.
Please don't remake Your Name in America in live action.
Please stop making remakes.
Yeah, make original films like RRR or 3,000 Years of Longing.
And I know like anyone listening probably has those original ideas, so just write them down, sell them, enter into a screenplay competition, win, take over Hollywood. It's that easy.
That's the goal. That's the dream.
That's the dream, man. Well, thanks for listening. Please follow us on Instagram at Film Therapy Podcast. And you can email us if you want at filmtherapypodcast@gmail.com if you have any suggestions. You can rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, follow us on Spotify.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Episodes. That's right, we have a YouTube channel.
We do. We do. Our uploads are fairly consistent.
Yes.
Yeah, so go ahead and follow us there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And be sure to email us and tell us what your favorite shade of gray is.
Please do.
And maybe by episode 69, what we'll do is that can be our Instagram poll is what's your favorite shade of gray? And then we can have like a tournament style bracket. And then by the end we'll be like, okay, these are the top 5 shades of gray.
That'd be amazing.
That can be the end of the episode.
Perfect. That sounds amazing.
Although wait, if there's 3 50 Shades movies, does that mean there's 150 shades, or does that mean there's like 50 shades split over 3 movies?
I would say they're split.
Yeah. Well, I guess there doesn't have to be 50 books because 39 Clues did like 20-something books. So.
Yeah. There we go.
And like, I Am Number 4 is the first book, not the 4th book.
Yeah, so what is that?
Although 4 is the 4th book for Divergent, so there you go.
Well, there you go. There you have it.
Okay, the end.